Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We will get started in just about 1 minute. We're going to give everyone a chance to get situated on Zoom before we begin. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Region 10 ESC and Partners Resource Network are happy to welcome you today to our family webinar. Today's topic is SPEDTex resources for families. If you would like to follow along with us today, please go to spedtex.org on your computer or phone. We are going to be working straight from the website today, so we do not have a slide deck. So whether you have been researching resources to help support your child, or if you're just starting your journey, today's session is going to offer some valuable information and resources that can help you to understand the special education process, address school challenges, and plan for life after high school. You can also discover ways to actively participate in your child's education. So let's get started.
Got questions about special education? SPEDTex is here to help. SPEDTex is the Special Education Information Center for Texas. We're here to support parents, provide resources to educators, and connect with community partners to the success of children with disabilities. Contact us today.
So as you can see, SPEDTex is the Special Education Information Center for the state of Texas. SPEDTex is a collaborative project between the Region 10 Education Service Center and the Texas Education Agency. We are now going to explore some of the resources that are available on the SPEDTex website. So first, I want to highlight that the SPEDTex website is available in English and Spanish both, and it's very easy to toggle between the languages just up here in the corner, and all of the resources that we share today are available in both languages. So we are going to start by going to the For Families page. There are several resources on the For Families page that you can explore and discover ways that you can receive support and to participate in your child's education. We are going to start by going to the Families New to Special Education section.
What is special education? If your child is struggling in school, it's important to find out why. If a disability is affecting your child's educational performance, your child may be eligible for special education and related services that can help. Special education is instruction that is specifically designed to meet the unique needs of eligible children who have disabilities. Special education and related services are provided in public and charter schools at no cost to the parents and are made available by a federal law called the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA. Have questions about special education? Contact SPEDTex, the special.
So that video referenced IDEA, which is the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. So one of the first resources that we have in our Families New to Special Education page is an overview of that law. And so this is going to be a quick fact sheet for families that just gives an overview of what IDEA is and what it requires. The next resource I want to highlight is parents' rights and overview of special education evaluations. So, for some families, special education can be a new or overwhelming idea, and you might not even be sure what a special education evaluation means. So, this quick guide is intended to help families to understand the basics of the special education system and some of the key rights or protections that are built in. Many of the resources that you will find on SPEDTex were developed by the Texas Education Agency. We really wanted to make sure that we were providing really good research-based materials for families. So I'm going to click on Individualized Education Program. And on this page, you are going to be able to learn more about the essential components of an individualized education program or an IEP. The first document is called What is an IEP? And this provides a brief overview of the main sections of an IEP, and it can also serve as a checklist for you as you participate in your child's ARD committee meeting. The least restrictive environment, or LRE, as it is more commonly called, is a very vital component in the development of a child's IEP, and it plays a critical role in influencing where the child spends his or her time during the school day and how services are provided, and also the relationships the child develops within the school and community. In fact, the LRE is a critical element in building an appropriate IEP that it can improve a child's outcomes in school and in life. So this page gives a summary of the least restrictive environment and considerations in placement decisions. The last resource I want to highlight here is, I'm going to go back to the new to special education page. And down at the bottom, we have the special education acronym quick reference guide. So if you haven't already noticed, we love to use acronyms in special education, and there are a lot of them. And so this quick guide is designed to give families just an overview of some of the most commonly used acronyms that you might hear during ARD meetings or from your child's teachers, and give you a quick meaning of what those stand for. So now I'm going to go to the special education process page, and I'm going to use the blue buttons on the side here to navigate to that page. So here I want to highlight key steps in the special education process. This page will let you gather information about each step of the special education process. It is from Partners Resource Network, which is another great resource for families. Their website also has a ton of information, and SPEDTex uses a lot of their materials as well. You can see this goes through the steps of the special education process. Okay, next I want to go to the special education complaints process. Just scroll down a little bit. On this page, you are able to learn more about the Texas Education Agency's special education complaint process and also gather tips for resolving special education disputes. There is a video here that will allow you to gather information about TEA's complaint process and tips for resolving special education disputes. There is a document down below that is called Resolving Issues with Your Child's School. This will help you with tips to tackle school challenges. One of the things I really like about this resource is that it kind of lays out for families who might have the information that you need. So if you are having a struggle with a specific area, this document can tell you the best person at your child's school to contact. The last item on this page is the Special Education Dispute Resolution Handbook. So this is the official manual from the Texas Education Agency. It is long, it is 32 pages, but it is in a very user-friendly format where it kind of goes in a Q&A format, so you can easily find what you are looking for. Okay, now we're going to go back to these blue buttons on the side, and we are going to go to the disabilities page. So to learn more about each disability, you can click on one of the categories. We are going to look at autism. And here you're going to find the eligibility criteria for this disability. And then you're also going to find some resources to help you to learn more about that specific disability. The next page that I would like to take us to is called Transition Planning Resources for Families. So it is never too early or too late to start considering your child's life beyond high school. Transition services are a coordinated set of activities that are designed to help your child transition from school to extracurricular activities. Under Texas law, no later than when a student turns 14 years of age, the Admission Review and Dismissal, or ARD committee, must consider and, if appropriate, address transition services for your child. So we first have a parent testimonial video that you can watch. And then down below, we have our resources divided into two sections. We have some that are more geared for our younger students, and then we have some that are more geared for our secondary students. Under the elementary section, I want to just highlight a couple of the resources that we have. The Next Steps to Independence checklist is one of my favorite resources that I like to share often with families. This is a checklist that allows educators or family members to monitor ongoing process in the skills necessary for future success. I really like this because it has age and grade bands here at the top of each page. And then it goes through 4 different strands that are vital to independent decision making and skills for beyond high school. And so it lets you see where your child is able to do these things independently or where they might still need support so that you can find areas that you know you need to focus on and work on with your child. And this goes from birth to 3 all the way up through high school. And it also has teaching and learning strategies for each of those 4 strands, as well as action steps for families to take. Okay, the next resource in this section is A Parent's Guide to Early Childhood Intervention and Early Childhood Special Education. This provides information for families on early childhood intervention, or ECI, and also that transition into the public schools and early childhood special education, or ECSE. There is another video, resources and help available. Get on waiting lists now. This is a video from the Straight Talk Parent Video series that is housed on our Texas Sped Support website for educators. And it talks about how families can sign up for wait lists and resources early in a student's life. It is very important that if you think at all that your child may need support after high school, to get on those waiting lists early, because some of them are very, very long. Under the secondary section, we have that Next Steps to Independence again, since that is applicable for both our younger students and also our older students. Have an overview of transition planning for parents, some transition videos that highlight chapters from the Texas Transition and Employment Guide. At the bottom of this page, you will find Texas Transition Contacts. This provides you with contact information for your regional transition specialist who can provide you with support and resources. It also gives you a roadmap to Texas transition resources. This includes lists by area to help you quickly identify needed resources and supports for various areas. Okay, I'm going to scroll back to those blue buttons up at the top here, and I am going to go to the SPEDTex resource locator. So the SPEDTex the SPEDTex resource locator is your gateway to special education resources. You are able to tailor your search by topic, by language, and also by type. So if I was looking for resources on behavior, I can just click the drop down of topics, find behavior. And then if I wanted to find videos, I can filter even further so that I will only find videos that are related to behavior. And you can see we have some that are in Spanish and some that are in English. So if you want, you can also filter further by language as well. Okay, I'm going to go back to the SPEDTex homepage at this time, because I want to take a minute to highlight our My SPEDTex accounts. So with a My SPEDTex account, you are able to receive personalized reminders. You can volunteer to participate in focus groups, share your comments with the state and Texas Education Agency. You can find resources that are specific to your needs, and you can access trainings. One of the features I really like about a My SPEDTex account is if you would like to, you can enter in your child's ARD date, their evaluation date, and it will automatically send you emails when those things are coming up so that you know to get yourself prepared for those types of events. Creating a My SPEDTex account is easy, and I am going to play our quick video on how
How
to
to
create an
create a
account.
My SPEDTex account. With a My SPEDTex account, you can receive customized reminders and updates, locate resources tailored to your needs, and access training. Creating an account is easy. Click the Create Account button. On the My SPEDTex welcome page, under the Create New Account tab, click Create New Account. Complete each field with your information. Be sure to indicate if you would like to receive the monthly My SPEDTex newsletter via email. Click the Create Account button at the bottom. You will receive the welcome and verification emails that confirm your account has been created. The verification email contains a 6-digit code you will need to complete setting up your account. Enter the 6-digit code on the email verification screen, then click Verify. You now have a My SPEDTex account. You will be directed back to the welcome page where you can now log in to My SPEDTex. How to create a My SPEDTex account.
Another important reason to create a My SPEDTex account is if you are going to be applying for the Parent-Directed Special Education Services, or PDSES grant. That application window opens in the spring, and in order to complete that application, you do have to have a My SPEDTex account. So we encourage families to create that account early so that you already have that created when the application window opens. Okay, on the home page, I'm going to scroll down to where I can find this button that says Learn. So during the school year, SPEDTex and Partners Resource Network collaborate with TEA to host 6 free family webinars. Those happen kind of spaced out throughout the year, and we have speakers from TEA that come and share important information with us. We invite you to register and attend those webinars. They are held at 12:15. When we go back to the homepage, I will show you where we have the registration link already there for our next webinar, which is on November 5th. If you are not able to attend those webinars live, they do get recorded and they are posted here on the SPEDTex website. We've already had our first webinar for this year. Kristen McGuire from TEA joined us in September to talk about some of the new legislation that was passed this past year here in Texas. You will also see the webinars that we hosted last year so that you can go back and watch any of those if you see anything that is of interest to you. Our webinar that's coming up on November 5th is going to be about the autism supplement. Okay, I would love for you to connect with SPEDTex. By clicking the button Stay Connected, you are able to join our mailing list. This will ensure that you know about any upcoming events as soon as we are publicizing those. We do have a monthly SPEDTex newsletter that highlights those upcoming events and also any new resources that we may be featuring on the SPEDTex website. It is easy to sign up for the mailing list. You just enter in your email and your name and your preferred language, and you will be added to that list. If you are creating a MySpedTex account, there is also a question there that will allow you to sign up for the newsletter as well. We do also have social media. We are on both Facebook and Twitter or X. We are at SPEDTex on both of those platforms. And so we would love for you to follow us on social media as well. So when you have any concerns or questions, SPEDTex is here to help. You can contact us by phone. We do have representatives that are available during business hours every day to help provide resources and guidance for families that may have questions about special education. You can also reach out via email, and we also have a live chat feature that is here on the bottom right-hand corner of the homepage. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. At this time, we are going to launch a poll to get some feedback from you about today's webinar. We will give everybody a chance to complete that poll, and then we will end today's meeting.
Hey Sarah, when I
Yes.
talk to my parents to contact SpedTex, is one of the things that I do tell them is they track all the calls and create a database of all the concerns that are out there in all the regions across the state, and so that helps TA to understand um, what issues are being seen by parents or are being felt by parents and what information they're seeking, and that helps us as programmers to help create the right programs and webinars and workshops to help families to increase their advocacy skills and their knowledge of their children. So that's one thing I really do appreciate about contacting the SpedTex, in addition to the excellent information and resources that they do provide the parents that I serve.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We definitely use that data to help us to develop those webinars and other resources that we're developing. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. I will send an email to everyone that was registered for today's event with some of the information we talked about today, as well as information about that November 5th statewide webinar and also our Region 10 November webinar as well. Thank you so much for being here.